Good morning. Do a little office work here first. What are you laughing at? You recognize my friend? Who is he? Waldo. Exactly. A creation of the illustrator Martin Hanford. Waldo is a little different. But yet, he's not the easiest guy to find in a crowd. My grandson Chase and I, we really like doing Waldo books and trying to find a Waldo. Chase is really good at it. Me, not so much. I find Waldo, but then I get distracted and I lose him. During a recent trip, I saw a real-life Waldo. Virginia and I were sitting at the gate at the airport, and Waldo sat down right beside us. Now, the clothing wasn't an exact duplicate, but it was pretty close. And I must have begun to stare with that large-mouth bass gape, when Virginia stepped in and quickly gave me the look. You know, the look? Yeah. She quietly suggested that I turn my attention towards something else. So I did just that, and I found some other distractions to occupy my time. But then I thought about Waldo again, and so I turned to get another peek. But Waldo was gone. And just like my experience with the book, I take my eyes off of Waldo, and he's gone. I never did see the real-life Waldo again, but I couldn't help but wonder about his story. And the experience also made me wonder, how many other Waldos have I come across, and I've never taken the time to learn their story? In Luke's gospel reading this morning, we hear the story about two sisters, Martha and Mary, who invite Jesus into their home. It's not clear from the text, but likely a meal was involved in general hospitality. Things don't go so well for Martha. She is focused not on her guest, but on all the tasks involved in being hospitable. Mary, on the other hand, is a little different. She's focused on Jesus and what he has to say. Mary wants to learn from his teachings, and she sits at his feet. Martha and Mary may be sisters, but they are not on the same page. They represent two diverse opinions about how this visit should go. Martha gets all wrapped around the axle, so much so that she even drags Jesus, her guest, into the discussion. Tell her to help me. Jesus doesn't go for Martha's plea, but rather points out that she is distracted by many things and that Mary has chosen the better part. Martha was so focused on setting the table and providing a meal that she missed an outstanding opportunity to listen to Jesus. Are we often like Martha? Are we often preoccupied with stuff and miss the opportunities to learn and to grow in new ways? I think most of us are more like Martha than we care to admit. Virginia and I recently traveled to Panama with our granddaughter, Nora. Set in the tropics and close to the equator, Panama boasts a lot of biodiversity. The Panamanians are a diverse culture, too, resulting from being somewhat of a melting pot of peoples from all over. Panamanians embrace their diversity. During a bus ride in Panama City, the coach had to stop for a few minutes due to traffic. It seems a pride parade was getting underway, and we had to wait for the road to clear. Patrick, our normally very, very chatty tour guide, was suddenly speechless. He was flabbergasted. He stared at the parade for a few minutes, And then he finally turned and he spoke to us. I've never seen this before. We're a country that's 85% Roman Catholic. I've never seen this before. And then he quieted down a little bit, and then he told us in a serious tone, you know, it's not about being right or wrong. It's just being different. Heads on the bus nodded in approval, and soon we were underway. These Panamanians really do embrace diversity. Diversity of cultures, diversity of race, of faiths, of lifestyles, and diversity of thought. Folks who just think differently. How tolerant are we with folks who just don't think the way we do? Do we welcome them? Do we converse with them? Do we listen to them? When our ad hoc community fridge team first met, we had no idea what we would or could accomplish. We all had our own thoughts and opinions, but there was no collective vision. What we needed was to learn as a group. So we hit the road. We visited community fridges all around the metro area, including Grace Methodist, St. Mark's Lutheran, Sweet Tooth Farms, and Dog Patch. We gathered ideas and looked for examples of best practices. We also learned from our repack ministry partners. Martha, hey Mary, the Lord Jesus is coming to our house for dinner tomorrow night, and we need to be the best hosts we can be. I'm counting on you to help me in the kitchen and set the table. This is a big honor to have Jesus in our home, and I want to be sure that we offer him the finest hospitality. Mary responds, Martha, you are right. This is a big deal. And I'm very excited to have Jesus come into our home. However, I don't want to spend this time preparing food and washing dishes. I very much want to listen to Jesus and learn from him. Don't you? Martha, well, yes, I would like to listen to Jesus too, but we're the hosts. What do you suggest? Mary, let's prepare the food ahead of time. We'll keep it warm by the fire and ready to serve. We'll set the table ahead of time too, and let our guests serve themselves. You and I can clean up after everyone has left. I intend to sit at Jesus' feet. Won't you join me? Martha, yes, Mary, I'll join you. I think we have a plan. Listening to those who think differently than we do isn't always easy. But often we discover there is more common ground shared than anticipated. We know how dangerous monocultures can be biologically, as evidenced by the terrible potato famine in Ireland. Everyone grows the same variety of potato, and it falls prey to a blight. The result, a catastrophic famine. What would a monoculture of thought and opinions look like? If we all thought the same way, would we learn? Would we grow? As disciples of Christ, we have two big rules to follow. Love God and love our neighbors as ourselves. Last Sunday, we asked the question, who is our neighbor? The answer is everyone is our neighbor, including all the Waldos in our lives. Loving our neighbor isn't always easy. It's also not easy to resist our distractions and our comfort levels. But remember, without dialogue and listening, there is no understanding and there is no learning. Try sharing a smile, a nod, or even a conversation with your Waldo. Be sure to listen. Do it before he disappears into the crowd. Who knows? We all just might learn something.